Was drunk when he drove into a crowd of 4 people, killing them. But the judge gave him only probation, no prison time. The judge brought into the defense claim, or brought in, I should say, that Ethan Couch was a victim of affluenza. He grew up rich and privileged and with parents who never set limits. So he basically didn't know right from wrong. A man whose wife and daughter were killed by Ethan Couch could barely control his grief when he talked to Anderson Cooper about losing them.
You know, Holly and Shelby, were strong in their faith, in their family and their friends, and they were givers. And there are some people in life that are givers and takers, and they were truly givers.
It's called buying off the motherfucking judge.
Hear the husband and father talk about his loss, and
I wonder how much the fucking judge got paid under the fucking table for this goddamn shit.
We bring in our legal experts. Mark Garagos is a CNN legal analyst and defense attorney, and Faith Jenkins is a criminal lawyer and a former criminal prosecutor. Mark, let me start with you. What do you think of this so-called defense that this kid suffered from?
It's fucking bullshit.
Well, I think, you know, I know that it makes kind of great headlines. The reality is it's not unlike what we had many years ago here in California with the so-called Twinkie defense. These are not defenses. What they are ways for people to try to explain what sometimes is inexplicable.
Sorry, fuck you.
A 16-year-old kid get into a car and
fuck you, motherfucker.
Injuring severely somebody who's with him in the car. The problem you have, and I know that this at some levels infuriates people even more, is what do? You're taking a look at this kid right here. This is a kid who, if you put him in a state prison as an adult with other adults...
Eat that motherfucker alive.
I know there's a...
Fuck him up.
...out of the population who would say, well, that's a great thing.
Fuck him up.
In prison. But the law makes distinctions between actions, especially when you take a life, that are intentional, meaning that you got the intent to kill, which is murder, and manslaughter, which is what this is. And so
it's not manslaughter. He made a fucking decision, motherfucker.
But I've done a little research on her. She's by no means out on the fringe. She is not a wingnut, so to speak. She is somebody who is very well thought of.
Yeah, got fucking paid off.
By what her options
got
were.
Fucking paid off.
All right, let me bring Faith in here. And Faith, do you agree with that? Is that a correct read to take here, that this was perhaps not revenge, but of course we're thinking about how to try to rehabilitate this?
Fuck that motherfucker. He took 4 lives.
Rehabilitation should be focused on before a young man kills 4 people. And I think
but that didn't happen, so we have to move on.
Right. So the message from this, I think from her ruling, says that if you are rich, there is a different standard of justice. And, you know, think about all of the kids in our juvenile justice system and the ones that probably really should deserve a second chance, the ones that are born...
And they don't fucking get them.
They're born into abusive homes and neglectful parents. They're poor. They're homeless. They commit crimes. We have no problem sending those kids to jail. But this kid who's born with everything, given every opportunity to succeed in life,
I hope they fuck him up.
He's worth being sent to a $450,000 a year facility.
I hope there's fucking backyard justice for you, you motherfucking goddamn brat punk motherfucker, you.
It is a travesty and a double standard.
I agree with you fully on this, but I will tell you, is that in any way really a surprise, Mark? Do you find it a surprise that someone qualifies you a great defense?
How much did the fucking judge get paid off on? That's what that's all about.
Well,
you sorry fuck you.
That's certainly not breaking news. I've been arguing for years, and I have, you know, kind of a Robin Hood practice where I represent very wealthy people and I also represent indigents. And I will tell you that one of the most frustrating things about practicing criminal law is that there are 2 systems of justice. And it isn't as if people start out that way or that anybody, you know, necessarily prosecutors, judges, or even defense lawyers go in and say, okay, this person's poor, we're going to do something, you know, worse to them because they are. But what happens is the opportunities that you have, the kinds of defenses that you can put up, the ability to do what you need to do to defend people is a function of your resources, and your resources are a function of how wealthy you are.
You sorry fuck you.
I was just going to ask
you privileged goddamn fucking brat motherfucker, you.
It's the first I've heard of this.
Right, and I think, but yes, because I think it sends a very dangerous message here. This case takes it a step further, Mark, because yes, when you're wealthy, you can afford those top-notch attorneys, and you can afford to pay experts to come in and present defenses like this. But now you have your own legal defense. Because I'm wealthy, because I'm rich, I didn't understand the consequences of my actions. That is what makes this decision so egregious. That's just one of the things.
Yeah, I mean, agree with you.
I just wonder how much the judge got paid off on that fucking thing.
But the problem is, I don't think for a minute that this judge, unless she just lost her mind and bought into it, I don't think that that was the motivating factor for what she did. I think, and, you know, obviously we're sitting from afar, I think she took a look at this kid and said, what am I going to do with him? Where am I going to place him?
You put him in goddamn fucking prison!
And remember,
you put the motherfucker where they'll fuck him up!
We make, rightly or wrongly,
fuck you!
Which are for rehabilitation and adult.
Fuck rehabilitation! Fuck that motherfucker! He took 4 goddamn lives!
The judge sent a black African-American 14-year-old teenager
for 10 years.
punched another person one time. That person died. The same judge sentenced him to 10 years. So she does have other options. She said that kid, Mark, she said, could get rehabilitative services in the juvenile justice center. That's what I'm saying. That there's a disparity here, even among this judge's ruling.
Make it quick, Mark. We're just about out of time.
That's the quick distinction between somebody who commits an intentional act as opposed to, which is murder.
Intentional? He fucking drank.
There was no
fucking goddamn drank, motherfucker. Fuck you, you goddamn cocksucking motherfucker, you.
As we said, this is
fuck
really
you.
A conversation. We could continue, but I've got to move on. Thank you for being with us.
The rich pay off the fucking judges.
Millions of Americans.